It is your favorite auditor, audit them, the one who encourages you to audit them. It is your favorite auditor, audit. Yep. We are live. Alrighty. Here we are going over State of Illinois Rule of Discovery. Documents, discovery of documents. Single file line, single file line. Hey guys, how's it going? Tommy, Nicole, hello there. So here we're going over Rule 214. This applies to Illinois. It may be similar in your state. Discovery of documents, comma, objects, and tangible things, inspection of real estate. Inspection of real estate. Any party may be, so section A, any party may be written request, direct any other party to produce for inspection, copying, reproduction, photographing, testing, or sampling specified documents, including electronically stored information as defined under Rule 201B4. Objects or tangible things, or to permit access to real estate for the purpose of making surface or subsurface inspections or surveys or photographs or tests or taking samples, or to disclose information calculated to lead to the discovery of the whereabouts of any of these items. Beautiful. Whenever the nature contents, right, whatever the nature, the contents, or condition of such documents, objects, tangible things, or real estate is relevant to this to the subject matter of the action. We have to define tangible. Well, the request shall specify a reasonable time, which shall not be less than 28 days after service of the request, except by agreement or by order of the court. And the place and the matter of making the inspection and performing the related acts. Beautiful. Hello there, C. So let's see. This is about a 3-pager here. We're gonna just zip through it real quick. Section B. With regard to, let's see here if we're on the right screen here. Yep. Section B. With regard to electronically stored information as defined in Rule 201B4, if a request does not specify a form for production electronically stored information, a party must produce it in a form or forms in which it is originally maintained or in reasonably, what's that? Yep, reasonably usable form or forms. Section C. Section C. One copy of the request shall be served on all other parties entitled to notice. A party served with the written request shall, number 1, identify all materials in party's possession responsive to the request and copy or provide reasonable opportunity for copying and inspection. Production of documents shall be as they are kept in the usual course of business or organized and labeled to correspond with the categories in the request. Or 2. Serve upon the party so requesting written objections on the ground that the request is improper in whole or in part. This is like FOIA language here. If written objections to a part of the requests are made, the remainder of the request shall be complied with. Yeah, that's all FOIA. That is with the FOIA language. A party may object to a request on the basis that the burden or expense of producing the requested material would be disappropriate, or what's that? Disproportionate, right? Disproportionate to likely benefit in light of the factors set out in Rule 201C3. Any objection to the request or the refusal to respond shall be heard by the court upon prompt notice and motion of the party submitting the request. Hey, we got a couple newcomers in here. Hello there, T. Hello there, Ali One. What up, though? If the party claims that the item is not in his or her possession or control, or that he or she does not have information calculated to lead to the discovery of its whereabouts, the party may be ordered to submit to examination in open court or by deposition regarding such claim. The producing party shall finish an affidavit stating whether the production is complete in accordance with the request. Copies of identifications, objections, and affidavit or completeness shall be served on all parties entitled to notice. D. A party has a duty to seasonably supplement, right, any prior response to the extent of documents, objections, or tangible things which subsequently come into the party's possession or control or become known to the party. Hey T, I'm gonna do a follow-up with you about that inquiry that you had, Teresa. Section E. This rule does not preclude an independent action against a person not a party for production of documents and things and permission to enter upon real estate. Let's read that one over. This rule does not preclude an independent action against a person not a party for production of the documents and things and permissions to enter upon real estate. Well, let's go ahead and carry on here. This is not just a one-time read. This is something that you have to print out and put inside your auditing binder here. So, as originally promulgated, Rule 214, these are committee comments. Rule 214 was patterned after former Rule 17. It provided for discovery of documents and tangible things and for entry upon real estate in the custody or control of any party or any person by moving the court for an order compelling such discovery. In 1947, the rule was amended to eliminate the requirement of a court order. Under the amended rule, a party seeking production of documents or tangible things or entry on real estate in the custody or control of any other party may serve the party with a request for production of the documents or things. or for permission to enter upon the real estate. The party receiving the request must comply with it or serve objections. If objections are served, the party seeking the discovery may serve a notice of hearing on the objections, or in the case of failure to respond to the request, may move the court for an order, Rule 219A. Volume is too low. To the request may move the court for an order, Rule 219A. Alrighty, I think that'll be a little bit better there. So let's see here. The request procedure may be utilized only when discovery is sought from another party to the action. Discovery of documents and tangible things in the custody or control of a person not a party may be obtained by serving him with a subpoena, dosis tecum, for the taking of his deposition. The last paragraph of the rule was added to indicate that the rule is not preemptive of an independent action for discovery in the nature of a bill in equity. Such an action can be employed, then, in the occasional case in which a party seeks to inspect real estate that is in the custody or control of a person not a party to the main action. The first paragraph has been revised to require a party producing documents to produce those documents organized in order in which they are kept in the usual course of business, or organized and labeled to correspond with the categories in the request. The revision requires the party producing documents and the party's attorneys to make good faith review of documents produced to ensure full compliance with the request, but not to burden the requesting party with non-responsive documents. Hey, my day one, what am up though? Ira Z. We got a few day oneers in here. Ali 1, Ira Z. Yeah, Teresa's heavy duty. The volume is turned up now. Ira Z. Ira Z. Alrighty, let's go ahead and carry on here. The failure to organize the requested documents as required by this rule, or the production of non-responsive documents intermingled among the requested documents, constitute a discovery abuse subject to sanctions under Rule 219. Now we're cooking. The failure to organize the requested documents as required by this rule, or the production of non-responsive documents, right? Intermingled among the requested documents constitute a discovery abuse subject to sanctions under Rule 219. This information here is similar to the FOIA language, to the basically the enactment of the Freedom of Information Act of Illinois. So the first paragraph has also been amended to require a party to include in that party's production response all responsive information in computer storage, in print form, in computer storage in printed form. This change is intended to prevent parties from producing information from computer storage on disks or in any other matter which tends to frustrate the party requesting discovery from being able to access the information produced. Yeah, this is a good one. I like that one. Rule 201B has also been amended to include the definition of documents. Here we go. All retrievable information in computer storage so that they can be no question but that they are, well, wait a minute, so that there can be no question but that a producing party must search its computer storage when responding to a request to produce documents pursuant to this rule. The last sentence of the first paragraph has also been revised to make mandatory that the requirement that the party producing documents finish an affidavit stating whether the production is complete in accordance with the request. Previously, the party producing documents was not required to furnish such an affidavit unless requested to do so. The second paragraph is new. The paragraph parallels the similar requirements in Rule 213 that a party must seasonably supplement any prior response to the extent that the documents, objects, or tangible things subsequently come into the party's possession or control or become known to that party. A party who has knowledge of documents, objects, or tangible things responsive to a previously served request must disclose that information to the requesting party, whether or not actual documents, objects, and tangible things are in possession of the responding party. To the extent that the responsive records, the responsive documents, objects, or tangible things are not in the responding party's possession, the compliance affidavit requires that producing party to identify the location and nature of such responsive documents, objects, and tangible things. It is the intent of this rule that a party must produce all responsive documents, objects, tangible things in the possession and fully disclose the party's knowledge of the existence and location of responsive documents, objects, or tangible things not in its possession, so as to enable the requesting party to obtain a responsive documents, objects, and tangible from the custodian. So you see, it was actually the last line. It was actually the last line here that sums it all up. And the beautiful thing, here is the beautiful thing highlighted. Let me read it out loud. It is the intent of this rule that a party must produce all responsive documents, objects, or tangible things in its possession and fully disclose the party's knowledge of the existence and location of responsive documents, objects, and or tangible things not in its possession, so as to enable the requesting party to obtain the responsive documents, objects, tangible things from the custodian. Beautiful. But like I said, I would have to read this over a few times. This is why we're going to go ahead and print this 3 pages out and add it to the binder. Put a brand new tab for the binder. The key is when you receive your binder, your state binder, the key is to continue to have more knowledge inside of your binder, right? You receive a few items, I'll send you a few items, but then the key is for you to read through the stuff to enhance your ability to have wherewithal, basically. Know your right, as they say, you know? So it's supposed to be about knowledge here. Once you have a binder, it's not about a binder, it's about the contents within the binder, right? It's about, well, this is an additional content that will be installed inside of the binder. Oh, Ira Zay, you wonder if the sergeant took the FOIA form. How beautiful. Well, here's the deal. What is he going to do? Leave it on the counter and clock off? Do you recall? Do you recall in the video he said, "I'm not touching that." Basically about my FOIA form. He said, "I'm not touching that." Well, he said that claim 2 minutes after he just finished inspecting it and received it in his custody. You see what I'm saying? Just because he didn't either want to do one of two things, tell me yes, okay, forward it over, and or he didn't want to make a copy because he said the copier machine is not public. But beyond all that, there's new inquiries going to be surfacing. I'm telling you, these new videos, these new encounters. I have encounters withheld. I have visits that are withheld yet. It's the new way that, there's a new way. And the auditing binder here is what you folks should inquire about. The one who encourages you to audit them. Thank you guys all for coming in here. Another good one here added to the binder. Plenty love. Good